Growing up, it wasn't easy to obey and follow the instructions and wisdom we received from our peers and parents, let alone the ones we get fed from our society. Some of the tips equip us to face different situations in life, but others have brainwashed us into limited thinking. It's only until we're of legal age that we get a full mandate on the decisions and consequences of our actions. Before then, we are under the umbrella of society at large. In today's video, we'll take a look at some of the biggest lies society wants you to believe. 11. Looks don't matter. We've all heard this phrase at least once in our lives, and in a way, it's brought a bit of comfort into our lives to think that we can get away with looking frumpy and unkempt. I'm here to remind you that we are human beings. That means that we are 90% visual beings. We fall fast in love with what we see before we have tasted, felt, or experienced any secondary feelings. When was the last time someone's personality or kind heart the first thing you noticed about them? You'll most probably like the color of someone's hair, or maybe be marveled at someone's eye color. Especially when it comes to picking a romantic partner, looks become very important. The rest of the traits are things we learn about later on. You see, you should always ensure that you give appealing first impressions by accentuating your most outstanding features. And don't shy away from applying some makeup if you feel like being more adventurous with your looks. Also, never forget that even though looks aren't everything, they are still important. 10. Love is effortless. In many ways, like money, love has never grown on trees. So what makes you think that love in your marriage should come effortlessly? Probably because for so long, you were conditioned to believe that love is easy. Unfortunately, the love is effortless mantra is nothing but a blatant lie. Love takes work. You need to work at it every single day to make it work, or else your relationship is doomed to fail. The biggest distinction between lust and happily ever after, or true love, is simple. In lust, you get to love the pretty parts about the other person, while in true love, you get to love the ugly bits, like outbursts during arguments, or distancing oneself due to personal problems. To say but the least, true love is a roller coaster of emotions, challenges, and sacrifices. If you want to enjoy the happily ever after you so often dream about, then you must be willing to put in some work. You have to be willing to love when it's difficult to show love. You also have to be ready to work at regularly improving yourself and your communication skills with your spouse. That's the only way you can be certain that you found something worth living for. 9. A house is an asset. One thing you should know when planning to buy a house is that it isn't an investment. In some situations, it might turn out to be a liability, depending on how you purchase it. In reality, a house doesn't increase in value or generate money for you, except if the house is for renting purposes. Many banks have done a great job at creating lucrative deals for those who look forward to buying or building their own homes. The biggest lie society has told us is that having our own homes will free us from the monthly expenses of renting one. The truth is that in the long run, we'll have to put in cash to build and maintain the house. So you can imagine how consuming it might get for someone who's paying the mortgage for the house he lives in. We have to be smart when making such financial decisions, because at the end of the day, we have to find a way to live comfortably and still channel enough money for investment without getting trapped in the debt bubble. 8. Men shouldn't show emotion, and emotional men are weak. Men are viewed as the pillars of society and are expected to be brave at all times. Society has led us to believe that showing any signs of emotion is an indication of weakness. Do you agree with this hypothesis? In any instance that a man is seen crying or even trying to express his feelings, many people will condemn and even consider this man as a disgrace to society. This has led many men to bottle up their feelings inside, which might cause them great trouble in the future. Research proves that many men suffer from depression because of this so-called gender expectation. It should be clear to everyone by now that freedom of expression isn't limited to men, and they are also free to express their feelings in whatever way they feel comfortable. Relationships bear a symbiotic structure, and each team player is entitled to share their feelings. There's no such thing as the strong one in the relationship. Unless you're preparing for war, you can save up your strength for better things. 7. Luck equals success. At the top of your head, how many successful people's names can you mention? I bet you can't mention any who just happened to stumble on luck which propelled them to success. The ingredients to success are a combination of hard work, diligence, and discipline. Unfortunately, luck has never been a part of those ingredients. The stories of the great names associated with success, such as Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates, just to mention a few, have never included luck. I tend to believe that the people who do believe in luck have been brainwashed to assume so. No wonder many people spend a chunk of their income buying lottery raffle tickets, hoping to one day win and get themselves out of poverty. Take a moment and look closely into the biographies of successful people. Be keen and notice when they started working towards their business and goal to when the business blew up and turned into something. 6. You can be whatever you want to be. The biggest lie fed to us is that we can be anything we want to be in life. The truth is that we can't be talented in everything, and we have to find our true purpose in life. If not, we should prepare ourselves to follow whichever way the wind blows us for the rest of our lives. And honestly speaking, do you believe you can be anything you want to be without focusing your time, money, and energy on it? Perfection takes a lifetime, hence impossible to be perfect in everything. You'll be able to do it, but your work will lack perfection. What you have to ask yourself is, what's the need of knowing everything if you aren't perfect at any of them? 5. Soulmates. The concept of soulmate originated from ancient Greek, where they believed that every individual is destined to have someone with whom they will be in perfect sync with. The story behind this came from a comedian who described humans as mutilated creatures with 2 heads, 2 hands, and 2 heads, before Zeus struck us into 2 halves, destined to find each other and live together forever. This folklore, however, failed to answer some pressing questions, like what if your soulmate finds someone else before you? Are you bound to live alone forever? Looking at it from this point of view poses many loopholes in the soulmate concept, weakening its credibility. So when searching for your life partner, please disregard this lie that society has fed us for years now. 4. Money is the root of all evils. You've probably got wind of the speculations that money is the root of all evil, but is it really true? Society doesn't want you generating wealth for yourself. By establishing such independence and sovereignty, their power is weakened, so the best tactic to regulate that is by giving money a bad image. Let's be honest, do you honestly believe that the wealthy sold their souls to become rich? Money is in no way evil and is a necessity to fluid operations in almost all aspects of life. Unless you live in the jungle, you'll have to spend $1 or 2 to facilitate most of your daily activities. The only reason money is constantly at the back of your mind is because you need it to sustain your endless needs. Here's some free, priceless words of advice. You should think about changing your perspective of money and free yourself from the lies society has been feeding you. 3. The bigger the salary, the more successful you'll become. Society has led us to believe that a bigger paycheck guarantees us more success, but in reality it doesn't. Sometimes, people who receive minimum wages turn out to become more successful than those who receive fat paychecks. Having enough to cater to your daily needs is fine, but tying your happiness to your bank balance is just absurd. Happiness cannot be bought, and having lots of cash in your account doesn't guarantee your happiness. Money comes with a lot of responsibility, and the more you have in your pocket, the greater the amount of responsibility. If you aren't careful, that thick pile of notes might cause more stress and health complications than the thought of having a plate of food on the table for yourself. At least now you're in the know, and should think about reviewing some of the lies society has fed your minds. 2. Material things equal happiness. This form of catfishing is used mostly by marketing strategists who make you believe that happiness is one purchase away. But is happiness ever really on the other side? Because most of the time, most people who buy stuff to make themselves happy end up with the feeling of being stuffed because they have a lot of valueless things that cost them money. I don't believe there's a material way of quantifying happiness. True happiness lies in the unseen things, or emotions people around you give off to you. So don't be too worried that you aren't happy in your job because your company didn't go for a retreat this past few years, whilst everyone is posting about how awesome their company is engaged in activities. The greatest probability is that their bosses suck and the work environment is toxic. They need to find ways to continually convince themselves why they should report another day at the office. You're probably having it good at your workspace, trust me. 1. You can't be an independent woman and rely on a man. I don't know why some of the biggest society lies are found in the institution of love and marriage, such as this one right here. Listen to me, you can be a boss, make your own money, but still rely on your man for support. There isn't any commandment written in stone that forbids you to rely on a man no matter how independent you are. Please allow him to open the doors for you and pay for your hair and nails if he wants to. Society lied when they told you that you're weak for depending on a man to do these things for you, because good chivalrous men enjoy supporting their partners. You'll find that you can have profoundly deep connections with your partner once you unlearn this facade. You'll enjoy giving support and receiving support from each other without the worry of onlookers' eyes, Because who cares if your relationship is different from everyone else's idea of a relationship? It's about time we free our mind from these lies that have become the norm today so that we can lead better lives. And with that said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed and found value in this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, welcome and subscribe for more content like this. Have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next one.